club was born out of a deep passion for local soccer and pride in our community. In the off-season, we have been building, working, and striving for more. This season, we honor the roots that run deep. And what makes Ballard our home. Up the stakes, up the stoke, up the bridges.
Afternoon and welcome to Interbay Stadium and here on GoBallardFC.com and YouTube on Ballard FC TV for this mid-season friendly. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today for the club's Pride Night celebration. Ballard FC taking on Cultures United FC, a team playing out of the UPSL Premier Division. Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Harvey, joined as always by the hardest working businessman in show business, Jim Harvey, my dad. Jim, Ballard FC in a really good spot as far as the league standings right now, coming off of a dramatic turnaround in last week's league contest against Capital FC Atletico, the team that got their goat in the regular season last year, and now a chance to kind of feel things out as they come into the last week of the regular season.
Well, no question. I mean, they sealed their fate in terms of being in the playoffs, so that question mark is removed. And now, you know, you've got a friendly and you've got an opportunity to play around with some lineups and get some other people into the game that may not have seen as much time if this were a regular season match. Well,
in the USL League 2, change often the only constant. One of those changes, a big one, came at the top of the organization. Ballard FC head coach Jason Farrell departed the club after that dramatic win against Capital FC Atletico. He's moving on to a new opportunity. We wish him the very best of luck and our tremendous congratulations on that. Jim, we've known Jason for a really long time, but I mean, you look at what he accomplished here in not quite 2 seasons at Ballard FC. 18 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, and a trip to the national quarterfinals.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's an amazing coach. He's a legend in soccer here in the Pacific Northwest and in Seattle. Played for UW, played for Seattle Pacific. So, you know, this is a guy that you'd love to see be successful. He's very successful here. Not surprised that he's going on to a different thing. We don't know yet what that is, but still, it's a great testament to what this team is really all about, which is not only giving players an opportunity to take the next step, but coaches as well.
And speaking of coaches, Ethan O'Neill steps into the interim head coaching spot. A high up there at Seattle United, was on the coaching staff this season, has his UEFA A license, and has worked with the FAI over in Ireland before. And obviously, Jim, if you're being handed the keys to the Ferrari at the top of the USL2 Pacific Northwest Division standings, you have to think that a friendly is the perfect opportunity to get it on the track.
Right. This is how you draw it up in your mind, for the great opportunity. But no, I mean, this will be a good opportunity, and he'll definitely experiment. You know, as for the kinds of players that are starting, I mean, I think you're going to see a pretty strong starting team, but I would be surprised if they stayed on the field for the entire pitch. Yeah, so.
Well, Cultures United went 3-7 this year in the UPSL Pacific Northwest Premier Division, finished bottom of the table in that organization, but they're a great organization that do some wonderful work. We'll talk about it way more over the course of the match to make soccer more accessible to kids who maybe don't come from families of means, and we'll get to it throughout the match. I know you've got a lot to say about it, but for right now, we're going to step aside. When we come back, the starting lineup for Ballard FC and kickoff as Ballard FC hosts this friendly against Cultures United FC on Ballard FC TV. Don't go away.
Welcome to the Georgian Dragons, Seattle's established home for footy since 1995 and proud broadcast sponsor of Ballard Football Club. Home to classic English pub food, 24 draft beers, a large whisky selection and craft cocktails. With a beer garden, heated patio and cosy pub, the George has everything for good times with friends and family. And weekly events such as pub trivia and karaoke. Open 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. daily and even earlier for all your favourite football clubs, national teams and cup tournaments. When you're at the George and Dragon, you're family, and here at the George we say welcome home. Go Ballard FC and up the bridges.
Here now is the starting 11 for your Ballard FC! Number 0, goalkeeper, Pierluca Carnevale! Defender, number 6, Takeru Onodera! Midfielder, number 14, Bailey Leatherman! Midfielder, number 15, Cameron Girondo! Forward, number 28, Kojo Tatsi! Defender, number 29, McCoy Hennis! Defender, number 32, Alex Zimmerman! Midfielder, number 34, Declan McGlynn! Forward, number 35, Eric Lagos! Forward, number 77, Peter Yotto! Defender and your captain, number 12, Messia Tetsane! All led by head coach Ethan O'Neill! Before we honor the national anthem of the United States, we would like to first acknowledge that we are gathered upon ancestral lands of the Coast Salish peoples, specifically the Duwamish, Suquamish, and Stillaguamish. We thank them for their immense contributions to our state and local history, culture, economy, and identity as Washingtonians. Additionally, the United Soccer League, its teams, and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Please join us for an 11-second moment of silence as we are all united against racism. Thank you. For all those willing and able, please rise and remove your hats. Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Cookie Yidbarek.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
are back in here at Interbay Stadium, set for kickoff between Ballard FC and Cultures United FC for this mid-season friendly. Ballard FC once again top of the table in USL League Two's Northwest Division. Now a chance to run out against an organization they work very closely with for the Ballard FC Foundation. And they share a common aim of making the game more accessible to those who might not be able to afford the sometimes high cost to entry. Andrew Harvey alongside my father Jim. And Jim, great weather for it.
Yeah, I know this is a beautiful 70-degree day. You know, we were talking earlier about the American South. I think it's 97 degrees in Dallas and feels like 105. And I'm sure a lot of these players are really happy that they're here in the Pacific Northwest with milder temperatures. This is more like springtime.
Two teams come over, get their pregame lineup photos done, and like we talked about, right? Cultures United, their charitable mission, all about, you know, making the game again just accessible, and sometimes the barriers to entry to play soccer in this country can be considerable and enormous, and I think it's a great and worthy mission.
Well, no question about it. I mean, I was a Premier coach a number of years ago, and it stunned me how expensive it was just to, you know, field the uniforms and the warm-ups and then the travel and all that stuff. That costs a lot of money. And what you want to avoid, and what I think is so great about Cultures FC, is making it a socioeconomic issue. When you want best players, you want them from whatever background they have.
Yeah, and certainly their roster page online, plenty of diversity represented there. Let's run through their starting 11 really quickly. In goals, Javier Malhuen. The outfield, Kevin Mayamba, Junior Chimilio, Marlon Balaco, Daneth Avila, Derek Avila, Juan Nunez, Marcelo Rios, Matias Valencia, Matias Catalan, and Manolo Aguilar. For Ballard FC, Ethan O'Neill names a familiar but different-looking starting 11. Pierluca Carnevale gets the nod in goal. The back four, Alex Zimmerman, Lucia Tetsane, McCoy Hennis, and Taketo Onodera. The midfield, Bailey Leatherman, Cameron Uriando, and Declan McGlynn, back now for his first technical start since returning to the club. And up front, Kojo Dadzi, Eric Lagos, and Peter Yarrow. And we talked about Ethan O'Neill getting a chance to sort of get his hands on the steering wheel for this friendly, but also for Declan McGlynn. What a great opportunity to get more minutes back in, coming back to the squad at this late phase in the season.
Well, I mean, and you know, the last game, you talked about a dramatic comeback. Ballard was down 2-0. McGlynn came in, and they managed to score the tying goals within about 15-20 minutes, and the goal had goal to put him into the playoffs. So this is a great opportunity for him, but it's also a great opportunity for the team to get used to working with him again.
Ballard FC wearing their home champagne will move from left to right on your screen as Cultures United gets us underway. 90 minutes of friendly action here on a Saturday afternoon, and a perfect Saturday afternoon, as you mentioned, Jim. Onodera gone over top here for Lagos. Lagos rounds his man, could be in here. Lagos tucks one home. Didn't even need 25 seconds for Ballard to get on the board. And what a great through brawl to spring him.
Yeah, and what a great run from him. I mean, he's a very big man, and he got to the point of contest, and was his sheer size made it impossible for the defender to get to it. And then he had a really good touch to the center of the pitch, and then just passed it very easily into the corner. You know, an obvious great way to start the match.
Well, Lagos living up to the Yale mascot, the Bulldog, running through there, fighting off Chimilio. Makes it 1-0.
And Lagos in the last match really figured prominently. He came on at halftime, and they really didn't have a target player because Kozlowski was gone.
One away here by Yarrow. Yarrow to the byline. That's a bad-looking challenge that upends him. And it is going to be a free kick just outside the penalty area. And Marlon Balaco came in, and his leg was off the ground there, Jim.
Yeah, no, that was no question. It was a great call by the ref. And also, it was very much outside of the box. Looks like McGlynn may be over the top of the ball here, but you never know. Maybe Titsani is going to serve it. But yeah, I mean, a very aggressive tackle on the border of being a cardable offense here almost 2 minutes in.
Referee has marched off the 10 yards. Tetsane walks away from the free kick. McGlynn strikes it into the wall. Follow-up effort, served on the ground, swung toward goal. Clever little chip of the hips from Bailey Leatherman, but he couldn't put it on frame.
Right. Well, you know, there's a perfect example of how McGlynn is such an important player for Ballard, because the quality of his passes are amazing, and now getting him into the role of making service on corner kicks and free kicks.
Flag gone up for offside against Eric Lagos. Kojo Dadzi thought he'd played him through in time there, just a step too late. And we, you know, again, Jim, it is a friendly, doesn't matter for the standings or anything like that, but this is an important reversal of fortunes for Ballard FC, because they let in a couple goals in the first minute of recent contests. So to close things down, and again, right, friendly, doesn't matter for league standings, but it's got to feel good to be getting back to that dominant style of soccer that they did play to open the season.
There's no question about that, and yeah, I mean, again, I cite the last game, but they gave up a goal, I think, 25 seconds in. It was a stunning goal. It was a really lucky bounce off a post, but it's better to be on the giving end than the receiving end.
Yarrow into the alley, another lunging tackle, back to his feet after that one. Onadera. Well, one on the near side by Derek Avila. Headed away by Zimmerman. Leatherman thought he was threading the needle there, but instead it's intercepted by Mayamba. Rios run off the ball. That'll be a free kick. Nunez wanted to play through there. Pass is broken up. Well, we talked about Cultures United FC's mission of making the game more accessible, something that important to Ballard FC founders Lamar Nagel and Sam Zizette and Chris as well, and they founded the Ballard FC Foundation in the off-season, started raising money. They're actually partnered and working closely with Cultures United FC, you know, sharing techniques and tactics for the same purpose, just trying to get more kids able to play the game. Here's Dadzi breaking up the far side. Dadzi shakes off a tackle, cut back cross, it's out for a corner.
Yeah, really nice recovery by Danath Avila to get back there and prevent a cross at a more dangerous spot near the penalty box, but gave up the corner kick. And again, here's McGlynn serving on the corner. That was the first goal in the last match.
McGlynn for the in-swinger. Goes short on the ground, looking for Yarrow. Yarrow, first touch shot, ricochets through traffic. Back out to McGlynn. Second ball, bounce down, finds its way to Rios. Thumped over the top, and Onadera gets it back inside to Tetsane, the captain. Versatile man, Lucia Tetsane, has started in 3 different positions in his last 3 outings for Ballard FC. Midfield, center back, and of course his usual left back.
And again, you see the strength of Eric Lagos being able to shoulder the defender out of the way and then come up with the throw-in for his team.
Boy, him, Korzanowski, those Ivy League forwards are no joke, Jim. It's a goal kick, ball last off of Peter Yarrow.
What I can say is that Cultures FC is not being tentative in terms of how hard they're coming in to tackle. Some of these are pretty aggressive.
Well, been a spirited start to this friendly. Ballard FC up to the good 1-0, courtesy of Eric Lagos in the first minute. Ball finds its way here to Cameron Uriando, scored in his club debut earlier this year. McGlynn lets it run, and that time straight to Danath Avila. Tetsane trying the line. Here's Dadsey. Fights off Danath Avila. To the byline. It's a perfect tackle there to put it out for a corner. That's a great slide tackle.
It is indeed. There are some referees that would have called a penalty kick on that, but I think he did the right call because he totally got the ball, no intention to get the man.
Maybe a bit of a jersey tug, but you have to say Dadsey was given as good as he got on that last one.
Well, there's great energy on the part of the Ballard FC in terms of starting, which was not the case in last week's match.
Floating cross to the head of Dadsey. And Kojo, who's your Dadsey, tucks one home in the 8th minute, 2-0.
Yeah. Well, again, the quality of the service from McGlynn, a great corner to the back post. Dadsey just doing what he had to do, just getting something on the ball and putting it towards the goal. The goalie was out of position, and very, very good combination there.
That's a Ballard FC scored by number 28, Kojo Dadsey.
Well, like you said, Jim, the energy is probably where Ethan O'Neill wants it to be. Ball squibs through. This is Valencia. High floating cross. Tipped along by Onodera. McCoy Hennis. Broken up by Catalan. Ballard back in control. Yarrow runs through a challenge and gets the free kick after a brief advantage.
Yeah, and you may wonder if you're watching why the referee waited, because that's what he's supposed to do. Seeing if the Ballard FC had an advantage, and then when they lost the ball, he then called the foul back.
Here's Alex Zimmerman, most recently of Western Washington University. McGlynn, gone wide for Dadsey. McGlynn chipped over the top. Lagos runs in behind on the left foot. And that's just a matter of milliseconds, Jim. The ball just bounced a little bit high on him.
Well, but a really nice combination play between those two players. And, of course, they haven't had much time to practice together, but that looked like they've been playing together for months. An excellent pass on McGlynn's part, and, just unfortunate for Lagos. He couldn't get his knee over the ball to get it on frame.
Ball there to Leatherman. Yeah, McGlynn really picking up right where he left off with Ballard FC last year. Played for Sneaky Fox FC in the soccer tournament, the 7-on-7 extravaganza with the $1 million grand prize earlier this year. Lagos fighting his way through some tough running there, and it's given us a free kick just outside the penalty area once again.
And again, the referee doing an excellent job of letting them play, and then if they lose the ball, then you come back and you call the foul. This is a very dangerous spot to have a free kick, because if McGlynn is over the ball and might be able to put it, he's capable of getting it over the wall. He's also capable of slamming it to the back corner. It'll be interesting to see if he serves it or tries to shoot.
Zimmerman, the other man, over the ball is the left-footed option. Looks to be 4 in the wall for Cultures United. Have to think this is all McGlynn's ball. McGlynn goes for the left post and scores!
Well, you know, as we mentioned, he is just incredibly skilled. And as you mentioned before, he's picking up exactly where he left off last year. Assists and goals off set pieces. Fabulous play.
The one and only Hugo Garcia on public address today. Fired up, fans are fired up, Ballard FC fired up. They're up 3-0. And Jim, we talk about picking up right where you left off. That's eerie. Declan McGlynn scored the first goal in club history from pretty much right around that spot last year.
That's true.
He's a dangerous man if you give him the opportunity to line up and pick his spot.
Well, you know, one of the things that's really remarkable about McGlynn is his ability to not only win the ball, but keep the ball. And he'll have 2 and 3 players around him, and you think there's no way he can hang on to the ball, and he finds a way to do that. That possession and the risk that he proposes for other teams is huge, and so it's wonderful to watch him play.
Cultures United back on the ball and win the throw-in on the far side. Yarrow over the top for Onodera. Good challenge, shoulder to shoulder from Kevin Mayamba. Jim, obviously part of this friendly too, motivation for Cultures United FC. Ballard FC always looking, thinking who might be on the roster next year. Individual standout players can get the nod, move up a division. It happens to players at this level, not just Jason Farrell moving on to a new opportunity, but Alex Mejia signed a pro contract down in Honduras after a strong start to the season. Congratulations to him. Derek Avila slicing through. Whistle's gone. It's a penalty.
And I agree with that call. He definitely had his legs cut out from underneath him. He was playing the ball, so a wonderful opportunity for Cultures United FC to take one back.
Looks like it's going to be Marcelo Rios over this ball. And Pierluca Carnevale, who's had nothing to do this afternoon, now all of a sudden has to settle in.
And that's really hard for a goalkeeper because, you know, keeping in the game mentally when you never touch the ball is very tough.
Rios looks like he's going to take this on the left. Our referee, Diego Rodas, clears the penalty area. Whistle goes. Rios goes. And scores. Puts it down the middle, shaded slightly left, and pulls a goal back for the visitors.
Yep, and that's what they needed to get their spirits back up, thinking that they can compete and come into this game.
That's the Cultures United FC golazo. Scored by number 10, Marcelo Rios.
Carnevale now has to kind of clear his ears and get back to it. Ballard high school graduate is Carnevale, plays his college ball at Willamette University. Has been largely backing up Lars Hellerin this year, but definitely a quality keeper. Ballard FC coming into the season, Jason Farrell was talking to me about kind of having his pick of the litter as far as recruiting in the regional scene.
Well, this is a great opportunity for the college players in this area to continue playing some very competitive soccer and also develop.
Through ball won't quite reach Zimmerman there. Gone out for a throw-in.
I mean, when you think about the fact that you were mentioning, Eric Lagos, there's 3 Ivy League players that have come out to Seattle to play, and it's a great opportunity for everybody, no matter where they're from.
As of that last match against Capital FC Atletico, it was 5 consecutive sellouts, so it's a great atmosphere for the players too to come play in front of a raucous crowd. Good turnout today. Not sure if it technically wound up as a sellout, as there's a clever back heel, nearly sprung Zimmerman. Well worked by Aguilar to get it free. Leatherman charges in, wins the ball off Rios, and it's pelted off of him for a goal kick.
Yeah, Bailey Leatherman is a very gifted defensive midfielder. He's, he rarely loses a one-on-one confrontation, which is exactly what you want to see out of a midfielder.
Quick whistle. Free kick going against Declan McGlynn. Onadera heads that back to Carnevale. Gave his keeper some work to do, but Carnevale responded nicely. Uriando, Yarrow. Left that one fat, it's picked away. Valencia, Rios. Mayamba. Mayamba looking over the top. And that's easily done for Pierluca Carnevale. Yara wants the big switch. Might have been offside. Flag stays down for him. Cuts himself back in. Wanted to go square. Ricocheting around now, and no nonsense clearance courtesy of Marlon Balaco. Tetsane wants the left side now. That's a long run for Dadsy. Gets there. And loses out to Daneth Avila.
Yeah, that's a really competitive one-on-one situation, those two going at it. So far, the first 20 minutes, there have been a number of different confrontations, and something to keep our eye on for the rest of the match.
Uriando. Onadera. Onadera floats one to the back post. Lagos gets ahead to it, tries to get it back to McGlynn. Daneth Avila. Up to Valencia. And one back by Uriando. Well, 21 minutes played. Ballard FC leading 3-1 here at Interbay Stadium. Jim, not the largest data set in the world so far, but something in your mind that's the biggest thing that separates these two sides through 21 minutes?
Yeah, I would say that it has to do with how intentional and quick the runs are on the part of Ballard FC players. There's a perfect example right there, a one-touch right to the corner. So they're making runs, they're being aggressive, and you have to say that the Cultures United folks are a little bit more reactive.
Ballard winning their way back onto the ball, courtesy of Uriando, who's off and running here. Big tackle coming in from the far side from Daneth Avila. Service here looking for Nunez. Carnevale off his line.
Yeah, it was a nice build-up by Cultures United there, taking their time, working their way up the right side of the pitch. And a very dangerous cross that almost found its mark.
Another seesaw ball over to Teketo Onodera. Yarrow pokes it into space for Onodera, but was chasing it.
Yeah, the ball had gotten a little bit away from him. It was kind of a hopeful pitch there.
Lagos wins the ball to the byline. Yarrow, this will go out for a corner. Last corner went to Ballard's second goal to the head of Kojo Dadzi. This one will be from the near side.
That was a smart play by Yarrow not to touch that ball. I mean, it's very tempted. You get down to the end line and you want to do something with it, but it went off the player. Get set up, get your big guys up from the back, give them an opportunity to head the ball into the net like they did the last time down the pitch, and they got a corner.
McGlynn, high service backside. Uriando serves it into the foot of Lagos, and it's cleared away by Catalan. Only as far as Tetsane, who uncorks one from distance. And that ball, Jim, I know you know, goalkeepers don't like those.
Well, for a couple reasons. First of all, it was hit really well, and it just barely missed the right post. But had that deflected, you have to react to the original shot. If he's leaning one way and that deflection goes the other, that's a goal. So those kinds of balls are very dangerous whenever they're served with great pace and low. When you've got a bunch of your players in the hopper there, it's a really, really good opportunity. Nice job there by Uriando to come back to the ball. It's something that
Lagos spins off his man here. Lagos has a go. Just rolled over his laces.
Yeah, in that case, he didn't prepare his upper body. You notice he just sort of hit it with his leg. Had he gotten his left arm out and leaned a little bit, he might have been able to get that ball down. But it's hard to say because sometimes a quicker shot is more important than the power you put behind it, but not in that case.
Mayamba. Ball left fat, intercepted by Ballard. No real runs developing, so they'll move it back for control. Hennis, the Whitman man. Onodera, good turn under pressure. And a free kick coming. Bit of a cynical tug there from Manolo Aguilar, who was pretty roundly beaten by that first touch from Onodera.
Yeah, and the referee is talking to him. Had every right to pull a card on that. Didn't, but I'm sure he said to the player, hey, next time it's going to see yellow.
Dadzi out wide. Double teamed here. One back by Daneth Avila. And back by Zimmerman. Cross on the ground. Uriando takes a couple steps. McGlynn gives chase. Let's fly! And that one with a great flash save from Malhuen. Not sure how much of that he saw coming, but great reflexes.
Yeah, very nice save, and the fact that he caught it, that's something I'm not seeing a lot of these days with goalkeepers. They tend to spill the ball or just deflect it, but that was a great job on his part to get control of the ball.
How about the shot from McGlynn? I mean, to be able to square his hips and put that back not only on goal, but to the far post.
Well, he didn't really get a full swing at it, with his leg. His lower part of his leg just connected with the ball. So have to say, it's very exhausting to play defense as much as Cultures United is being forced to play. Right now, they've retreated to their half of the pitch and said, okay, that's it. But if they really want to get back into the game, they have to create some turnover opportunities, which means higher pressing. And it doesn't look like they have the energy for that, at least right now.
Yeah, those steps when you're off the ball as opposed to on it always seem to be a little bit longer, Jim.
Well, you know, the same thing is true on offense when you think about it. If you're a forward, you're making all these runs. How many times do you get to the ball? Not that many times. So you still have to make the run. And it becomes a little disheartening if you make all those runs and never see the ball. So it's just as frustrating sometimes for the offense. But in this case, down 3-1, 28 minutes in, it's pretty tough.
Ballard looked exceptionally unhurried. Now it's McGlynn going through. Nice breakup there from Balako. Leatherman considering switching the field. Uriando gone through for Dadsey. And the flag up for offside as Malwen picks it up. And play going to stop here. There's a Cultures United player down in his own penalty area. Just shy of the half-hour mark. That's Marlon Balako, who showed off the acrobatics to clear that last through ball a moment ago, but he looks like he'll press on. This is one of those fun realities of the laws of the game, Jim, where I'm pretty sure, right, the last couple of years they've changed up the laws to make it so we see these drop balls a lot more, no more contested drop balls. And technically speaking, the laws state that a drop ball should never occur in either penalty area. And I think even though IFAB hasn't technically gotten around to changing that law, they've gone, yeah, if the keeper had the ball, just drop it back to the keeper.
And I think that's exactly the right thing to do. No question about it. You don't want to create a disadvantage for a team as a result. Say, oh, we're going to haul it out of the box. And that means you drop it to a field player who then has to knock it back to the goalie. The goalie can't pick it up.
Well, we've played a half hour here at Interbay Stadium. Ballard FC leading this friendly 3-1 right now. Goals from Lagos, Dadsey, and McGlynn before Rios pulled one back from the penalty spot.
You know, you were asking earlier, well, what are some of the differences? Ballard is doing a great job with spacing on the pitch, keeping things wide on offense.
Dadsey in for Zimmerman. McGlynn through for Dadsey. Chip to the backside, just too long for Peter Yarrow.
I think Yarrow was expecting a header, and instead he got a ball to the far post, which if he had taken a different run, he would have been able to very easily reached with the inside of his right foot, but he couldn't quite get there.
Derek Avila once again putting the chops on display. That's the second time today he's been chopped down, and Bailey Leatherman's going to see the game's first yellow card.
Yeah, and there was nothing subtle about that charge. I mean, that, you know, he pretty much knocked him right off his feet.
In the 32nd minute, the official has given a yellow card to Ballard FC player number 14, Bailey Leatherman.
Both these sides making some tackles to let the other team know that they're there.
Well,
sometimes a friendly is only a name, Jim.
yeah, well, you know, it's a message.
High ball on the restart. Zimmerman, the initial header. Catalan swings at goal, and Carnevale has to jump up and smack that one away.
Now, I have to tell you that kind of a shot is the kind of shot as a goalkeeper that you really have to worry about, because the ball had tremendous downspin, and he absolutely obliterated it, and a great save by Carnevale. So, you have to watch those balls when somebody has an opportunity to do that kind of a volley.
Leads to the first corner of the match for Cultures United. Tetsane bats it down. McGlynn floats it away. Valencia. Daneth Avila. Zimmerman gets a foot in, pokes it away.
Really nice tackle by Zimmerman right there. Very aggressive. Stood his ground.
Leatherman, Dadsey. Batted away to Nunez. Tetsane has it. Uriando. Trying to work the touchline with Dadsey. And pull back for a free kick. Quickly in for McGlynn. Drifting to his right, one more for Onodera. Onodera gets the cross away and just too high on the header from Lagos.
Yeah, that was a really nice cross by Onodera, and Lagos took off, but he couldn't quite get his head over the top. But still, a beautiful combination there. And again, McGlynn with a toe poke pass to set that up. He's just an amazing distributor of the ball.
And Lagos inches away on a couple here, has one goal, but could have a hat trick at this point. Malhuen here, forced to deal with that with the first touch. Pretty good clearance. Nunez ties up with Tetsane. Heads the ball down and rattles his way through. Nunez into the area and pokes it past Carnevale. Cultures United back within a goal in the 36th minute.
And that was a great individual effort on part of Nunez. He fought off the defender, got the ball, and then rocketed the ball low. Carnevale just simply was not set.
From number 9, Juan Nunez.
Don't very often see players get the better of Lucia Tetsane, who made himself a nuisance but wasn't able to keep the big man out.
No, that's right. And, you also, his pace, Nunez, to accelerate past Tetsane, who's, very, very fast himself.
Uriando straight up the middle for Yarrow. Ball batted away.
It was a beautifully weighted pass on Urando's part there.
Yarrow shows near side for the throw-in. Fights off Avila. Hennis. Leatherman. Onodera. Rounds Avila. Gets the cross away. Dadsey at the back post. McGlynn on the inside. Can't convert.
Yeah, it was a nice idea by Dadsey, but unfortunately the pass went straight to the defender and not to McGlynn.
Hennis Trying to go straight through there. Mayamba. Yarrow dogging at his heels and wins the goal kick.
That's right, Ballard fans. Your screams and yells and cheers fuel the boys on the pitch for a goal. So if you want more goals, let's get loud!
And you have to say, you know, it's very impressive, the reaction on the part of Cultures United in terms of fighting their way back into this match, now down a goal. This is certainly not a foregone conclusion.
Well, they've certainly come in and frankly responded to the adverse conditions better than a lot of the league opposition that Ballard FC have faced this year. There have been some teams that Ballard has put 1 or 2 early goals past, and the other team just kind of folded up and went away. Cultures United sticking with it.
Oh, yeah!
Onodera can't quite pick out the through ball. Catalan, McGlynn pulls it away from him. Past one tackle, past a second, upended by the third. Cleanly, says the referee. Now they're going to try to spin things the opposite way. Carnevale caught in no man's land and a big sweeping clearance into touch on the far side.
Yeah, it was a good play on his part because that was definitely no man's land. And the last thing you want to do is give the other team the ball with your goalkeeper out 30 yards from the back line.
Long throw to Rios. Zimmerman comes back, trying to claim the throw-in. The assistant referee on the far touchline, unconvinced, to say the least. Nunez brings that down, squibs through for a goal kick.
Well, as you know, being a referee yourself, there isn't a play out there where a player won't try to make their case, no matter how egregious the evidence is to the contrary.
Yeah, always the fun phrase. Well, you know, I had to try. Did you, though? 40 minutes gone, 5 to go here in the first half. Ballard FC leads by a goal, 3-2 at Interbay Stadium. Andrew Harvey alongside my father, Jim, on the broadcast for today's friendly. Bright opening quarter hour for Ballard FC, but since then, Jim, the chances have dried up, and now entering that final 5-minute window, you know they'd love to get one more quality chance before the end of the half. Derek Avila, who's been a real nuisance on the near touchline. Hemmed in, Leatherman gets the ball off of him, and Yarrow's away. One straight back, courtesy of Aguilar. Nunez, Rios, Valencia caught out. Dadsy hits the afterburners, but won't be able to hold the ball in play. Hennis, wide for Onodera. Onodera slicing in, gets the cross away to Yarrow, shot blocked, and brave defending from Cultures United. Play gonna stop as it comes out to Tetsane, as that was an awkward job of the defender throwing himself in front of the shot. A big-time stop.
Yeah, no question about it. It was a brilliant pass by Onodera and then a really good shot by Yarrow. But obviously the defender coming out the worse for wear for making that really good save and keeping his goalkeeper from having to do it himself.
The player initially had said that he didn't want the training staff and seems to have changed his mind since. Probably for the best, just a friendly after all. Get somebody on to look after him.
No question about it.
it is Balako up and moving under his own power. Now, technically, by the letter of the law, he should be forced to leave the pitch here since the trainer did come on to attend to him. And I believe that's what he's being told by referee Diego Rodas right now. So Balako will trot off for a moment or so. It'll be a drop ball for Lucia Tetsane, right where it stopped. And Ballard will be playing against 10 men for a moment. Nunez not allowed to contest this. Again, they changed that law a couple years ago. Whistle goes, Tetsane goes, moves it backward. Balako being told to wait up. Now he's waved back on as the ball goes that direction. And we're back to 11 aside. Zimmerman. Lagos. Zimmerman drags the ball a little bit. Uriando. Awful crowded there on the far touchline. Danath Avila. Swarm of bodies. Avila with a reaching tackle that gets the ball away. And another one from Ballard puts it into touch. Into first half stoppage time. No fourth official today, so probably won't have a word on how much we'll play. Might see a minute or two. Looks like it will be 2 minutes, the referee signals to the booth.
And I have to say, Diego Rojas has done a great job in keeping the tenor of this match competitive, but still friendly.
Lagos can't quite bring that ball down under pressure from Balako. And McGlynn draws a free kick. Little bump in the back from Aguilar.
And again, this is not a place you want to give up a free kick to a guy named McGlynn with just a minute or so in extra time in the first half.
Any guy named McGlynn? Like if we have a Steve McGlynn and we just trot him out there? Or is it this McGlynn?
Honestly, I believe it could be anybody named McGlynn. So.
Listen, you never know.
You know, the Irish being what they are.
Certainly McGlynn has proven himself special, and those over at Seattle United definitely agree. Played his club ball for Crossfire and great career for the Seattle University Redhawks. McGlynn goes on the ground this time. Something for Malhuen to think about, but nothing too dangerous. And now potentially a chance on the counter. Derek Avila. Trying to slip that ball through. Tetsane does enough to break it up. Yarrow, Leatherman, and the return. Up to Lagos, fighting off his man and tripped over the ball. Thrown into McGlynn. Inside Tetsane, who's ranged forward. Far side Dadzi. Dadzi tried to step top side. Danath Avila read it all the way, and that's going to end the first half. Well, it was all Ballard in the first quarter hour, 3 goals in 13 minutes to open things up. But Jim, after that, the chances dried up, things faded, and Cultures United within a goal at halftime.
Yeah, no, great job on their part not to get down mentally and to believe in themselves. You know, they clawed one back with a PK, but then a fabulous goal by Nunez to bring it to a 3-2 match. So we have a competitive soccer match here. It'll be fun to look forward to the second half and see how it unfolds.
Been a great first 45. We'll be back with more after this on Ballard FC TV.
Welcome to the Georgian Dragons, Seattle's established home for footy since 1995 and proud broadcast sponsor of Ballard Football Club. Home to classic English pub food, 24 draft beers, a large whisky selection and craft cocktails. With a beer garden, heated patio and cosy pub, the George has everything for good times with friends and family, and weekly events such as pub trivia and karaoke. Open 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. daily and even earlier for all your favourite football clubs, national teams and cup tournaments. When you're at the Georgian Dragon, you're family, and here at the George we say welcome home. Go Ballard FC and up the bridges!
Cheers. I'm Andy Love.
I'm Tucker Schonberg.
We own Salmon Bay PT, and it's 2 clinics in Ballard, and we kind of see everybody.
The community has been really supportive of us. Even just Ballard FC brings a lot of small businesses together, and it's nice to meet other small businesses. They're supportive of each other.
Getting to know the owners of the other businesses in our neighborhoods has been really nice. You know, you're kind of in it together. Being part of Ballard FC for me, you go there and it's like, oh, there we're a patient. Oh, there's a parent. There's a friend from the gym. And you're all there sort of celebrating this team, and the energy's really great and small enough that you get to sit and chat with these people and go to the beer garden. But it's big enough that it's like super exciting and the energy's really big. And I love that. And I think it came along at the perfect time. Like, people were so ready to do something and get back together.
It was an easy decision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. This is perfect. We've been thinking about this, and it kind of aligns with our values and what we're trying to do, and it's still local. So
yep.
The impact of the community is great. And I think it's somewhere where we can all put our differences aside and just watch soccer and be happy about our team going to the championships.
My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Flow Fitness. We have 2 locations, one in South Lake Union, the other in Fremont. The Ballard community is amazing. I've been a resident of Ballard for 15 years now. The favorite thing about Ballard is just being able to go out on the weekends and just walk everywhere, whether it be the farmer's market on Sunday, grab some lunch during the day, going to the parks, or grabbing a beer at night. Like, there's so many things to do. You can walk everywhere, which is amazing. And you just see people on the street and feel the energy. When I heard about Ballard FC launching, I immediately reached out. I wanted to support. Both my kids play soccer. Also just wanted to support that community as much as possible. We see a lot of athletes come in our place, and we see a lot of injuries and rehabbing injuries. And
And we're back at Interbay Stadium, set for the second half between Ballard FC and Cultures United FC here on Ballard FC TV for this mid-season friendly. Ballard FC leading 3-2 through 45 minutes of play. Andrew Harvey alongside my father, Jim, for you here. And Jim, looks like Ethan O'Neill has used halftime as an opportunity to make at least one change to his lineup out there. We'll look to confirm as this half develops. Meanwhile, it looks to be the same crew trotting out for Cultures United, but it was an entertaining first 45 minutes.
It was. I mean, clearly Ballard dominated the first 13 minutes and put 3 in the net, and then things sort of evened out, and Cultures United had a good counterattack and also got a PK to bring the score to 3-2. But it'll be interesting to see the first 15 minutes of this half. One thing to note, however, is the sun is going to be directly in the eyes of the Cultures United keeper, so you can already see that he's put a hand up to shield himself, and it makes it tough to see distance when the sun's straight in your eye. So we'll keep an eye on that. Javier
Malhuen had a busy first 45, a couple of big-time stops, probably the biggest, that stone-cold catch he made against a Declan McGlynn shot that looked like it was going far post. You can also see that Ballard FC has made a keeper change of their own. Conrad Lee now between the sticks for Ballard FC. And, makes sense for interim head coach Ethan O'Neill to just get his keepers a moment, get them out there and get some minutes under the legs because, if the call comes in the postseason, you got to be ready.
Yeah, no question about it. This is an opportunity for the Ballard FC team to get prepared for the last 2 regular season games and the playoffs that follow.
Tried the quick ball up to McGlynn. It was a no-go. Daneth Avila, Dadsy, fighting him off. Great body positioning and a well-won free kick. Malhuen for the ball over the top. Nunez wins a corner.
Yeah, that was a very smart play on his part. He knew he couldn't turn.
Pardon me, they're saying it's come back off Nunez and is a goal kick. Either way, good work to try to win it in any case.
No question about it. There was no opportunity against 2 defenders to turn the ball toward the goal, so he just dragged it down to the end line and tried to hit it off them. Unfortunately, it came back and hit him, creating the goal kicker.
Ball runs past Lagos. Here's Cameron Martin chasing it down. Back pass to Malhuen. Zimmerman fronts Valencia. Turned over to Declan McGlynn. Going against Avila. Fights his way through the jersey tug, wins a corner. Notched an assist in the first half, back in the 8th minute from this side of the pitch. Teeing up that in-swinger. McGlynn, serve back post. Lagos heads it down and up over the bar. Whistle had already gone for a free kick against him.
Often if you're the bigger player and somebody goes down, you get the call against you, but obviously Lagos disagreed with the call and was throwing his hands up in despair.
Daneth Avila looking up and into the middle. Tetsane brings it down. Onadera. Martin. I believe this is Joe Dale. And it is Dale, and that's a well-won free kick. Leatherman got Rios draped all over him. Gone down there and basically just wanted to make sure the referee was seeing everything that happened, I think. Went down a bit softly there. Lagos manhandled there, fights his way back to his feet, and given the free kick.
And that's a strange one because he is on the ground. You're not allowed to play the ball on the ground. The ball ended up between his legs. But I think the referee called it because the Cultures United player literally kicked him in the leg to try to get to the ball. I think that must be the reason for the call.
And important, right? The law says you may not withhold the ball from play on the ground, which he definitely did by wrapping his legs around it. Maybe the referee in his mind was seeing if an advantage developed because it did seem like he got hauled to the ground on the initial trip down. In any event, it's a Ballard FC free kick here in the 50th.
And again, here's where if you look at the goalie right now, he's got his hand up trying to figure out, you know, how to handle the sun. It's going to be very tough. And depending on who shoots, if they shoot and shoot a hard one, it'll be very hard for the goalkeeper not to spill it.
Leatherman curls one over the wall, couldn't get it back down again.
Yeah, in that case, I would rather have seen him shoot the ball low and hard and see if they could get a rebound, you know, just a cheap rebound. Make the goalkeeper make a save.
Header back inside to Nunez. Dale comes crashing in, wins it away from Derek Avila. Over hit for Declan McGlynn from Taketo Onodera, who's now slotted into that holding midfield role at start of the match at right back. Here's Kojo Dadzi, 3 defenders around him. Pretty much does about all he can, which is to win that throw.
Yeah, he actually rotated and used his left foot, which is what gave him the rebound to his advantage.
McGlynn struck for goal, couldn't connect. Now Aguilar, blocked by Tetsane. Nunez held up there by Zimmerman. Free kick.
I don't know. Have you played 21?
This is a good opportunity for Cultures United FC. This is a very dangerous spot because the goalkeeper really cannot come out pretty much past the 6. If they can serve it between the 18 and the penalty spot, very tough to defend.
Rios does just that. Headed back out. Falls to Dadzi. McGlynn is offside but was looking to break. Into space for Joe Dale.
Well defended there by Marlon Rios.
Rios had that first goal for Cultures United from the penalty spot back in the 16th minute. Zimmerman bailed out a little bit there by Nunez, getting a little overeager.
And Nunez having a very, very good game this afternoon. He, of course, cracked that goal, but he's been a problem for Ballard FC from a defensive standpoint.
Ball up to Lagos here, back for Tetsane. Tetsane to the byline. He's cleared out as he dribbles by. That'll be a free kick.
A little surprised the referee didn't pull a card out on that play because he really just got obliterated.
Junior Chamilio, the guilty party. McGlynn's free kick. Swung back post, and an important header right in goal. Up as far as Mayamba on the clearance. Joe Dale gets a foot in. Zimmerman is chopped down. That's a bad challenge, advantage played. Martin. Drop back here to Leatherman. Dale. Never got square around the cross. Now, are we going to see Nunez talk to, because there was nothing uncautionable about that challenge? Well, looks not. Back to Conrad Lee. Daneth Avila. Aguilar. Catalan. Avila with some nifty footwork. Tried to poke it ahead, intercepted by Leatherman.
We have to say both the Avila, presumably their brothers, are very skilled and are showing very nicely this afternoon for Cultures United FC.
Into space for Dale. It's a foot race with Mayamba. The ball left to the inside. Mayamba gets the inside lane, and Dale truck sticks him. And wins a corner, says the assistant referee. Well, I figured we were going to see a free kick for that.
McGlynn in the situation. It looks like he's going to hit it with his left foot.
So still wants that in-swinger. It's the 5th corner of the day for Ballard. Chop ball to the head of Dadsey. He sent that to the near post. Out for another corner.
And to me, that is the perfect spot to serve an in-swinger. You want a couple yards past the far post. Dadsey, nailed it down, would have gone in had there not been a player stationed at that post. Obviously, the other opportunity there would be to knock it across the goal back to somebody on the near post.
Further pair of changes for Ballard FC. Zimmerman and Dadsey coming off, waiting to see who's checking in for Ballard. One is Brian De La Rosa out of Bellevue College. McGlynn nearly found the head of Hennis. Almost fell to De La Rosa. Leatherman's follow-up shot finds Lagos. Tried to chip it through, bats it down. Loose ball and a wayward shot from the center back.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Hennis, but that's probably why you're a center back.
Initial header to him looked pretty good, though.
It did, but I mean, it wasn't even close.
Kevin Galliano, the other substitute for Ballard FC, we're being told. Changes as well for Cultures United. Derek Avila appears to be done for the day. So too, Matias Valencia. High restart. Avila to Nunez. Gets the ball past Tetsane, can't equal the feat. And Nunez gives away the free kick.
Yeah, Tetsane is not a player that you can easily push off the ball. He did a beautiful job of using his body to screen to get possession on that.
Cultures United, with their double change, brought on Zaith Mavasere and Freddie Suazo. changes just shy of the hour mark. Still 3-2 here at Interbay Stadium. That's Mavasere. Chimilio, Avila, Galliano runs down the ball. Long through ball here for McGlynn. It's a foot race. Balaco wins it and puts it into touch.
And, you know, that's a good decision on the part of the defender, because the last person you want to try to turn the ball against is McGlynn, who's just so skilled. Just knock it out, get set up, get your teammates back on defense.
Thrown into Galliano. Dale. Martin. Onodera stumbles, recovers well. Can't quite slip it to McGlynn. Just thumped the other direction. Onodera scissored down, another bad challenge in the midfield. And it is Catalan shown the yellow card, quickly up to offer his apologies to Onodera, but there was no doubt after that challenge.
Well, those kinds of scissor things is how you get legs broken, and it's very dangerous. So clearly the yellow, if it had been any more egregious, it might have been a straight red. Because that is not how you keep your opposing players on their feet.
So Leatherman going to go short with the free kick. Into space for Tetzane. De La Rosa thought he had Tetzane on the underlap. Chimilio. Avila. Battered off the ball, and Chimilio puts it not quite into touch at midfield. A couple of risky looking plays around the ball from players on both sides.
Well, this is a friendly match, but you never know it by the quality of the play out there. I mean, they're both teams are going to compete and win, no doubt about it.
Galliano trying to work that far alley. Joe Dale floated over the top for Galliano. Back to Dale, who's tripped up at the edge of the area. Well done by Aguilar to get the ball. Intercepted by Onodera. Awkward play from Dale, turned over. Nunez looking for support. That's a brilliant first touch and a pretty good second one. And he has a go from distance and gave Conrad Lee something to think about.
And that is a really heads-up play. It tells you how aware Jose Nunez is. Lee was probably 15 yards off the line, and he came very close to tucking it underneath the crossbar for the equalizer.
Marlon Balaco is done for the day. We see now William Maki entering the match for Cultures United. Ball head to Lagos. Lagos, Galliano, back to Martin. Ball swung in here, headed down by Catalan. Clear by Mayamba. And one back by Nunez. Ballard just a little careless at the back end right now, Jim.
I would agree. I think they probably still think, oh, we've got this game, but they're only down by one Cultures United, and they're pressing, asking a lot of questions, and so far the answers from Ballard are not as good as you would hope.
25 minutes and stoppage time left to play. That's a long time. Ball comes near side to Avila. Wanted to go back inside from Mavasere. Ballard gearing up for another substitution. De La Rosa fights off Nunez. Martin, ball on the ground. Galliano, Joe Dale to the byline. His cross comes in low, batted away from Lagos. Aguilar.
Yeah, good pressure by Ballard to try to keep the ball down in that part of the pitch.
Reaching challenge from Lagos, but nowhere near the ball. Swung near side. Here's Avila. Worked up line to Suazo. Mavasere. Catalan. Intercepted by Tetsane. And Tetsane tries the line. That actually takes a kind deflection for Declan McGlynn. McGlynn chops one to the far side and scores! Declan McGlynn, from an outrageous angle, chips the keeper and puts Ballard back up by 2.
You know, to be able to hit that ball that's kind of going across your body to the far post, over the goalie and underneath the crossbar. I mean, that is just world class. That's a fabulous goal. And now you've given your team a 2-goal buffer, which, you know, they still shouldn't make any assumptions, but you got to be more comfortable with a 2-goal lead.
Jim, in your mind, we talked about the sun being in Malhuen's eyes. McGlynn was wide of goal there, but even so, played a role in your mind?
Absolutely. Because you can see, I mean, if he is still standing there with his eyes being shielded, and again, just the depth perception when you're staring into the sun is very hard.
Well, and that looks like it's Declan McGlynn's last involvement of the match. There was a sub that had been waiting over there for several minutes. We find out now it was waiting for him. It's not a bad way to tip the cap. Bag an assist, 2 goals, and say, all right, I'm headed for the hand me a Gatorade.
That's right. Well, he's a real pleasure to watch, and obviously a very important part of this Ballard FC team, especially as they head down the last 2 regular season matches and into the playoffs.
Looks like Eric Lagos' afternoon is done as well. Well, 2 players came on, and we only had 2 left listed on the bench, so they, by process of elimination, must be Charlie Holmes and Rafi Otero. Otero plays his college ball down at Claremont McKenna. Holmes over at Bucknell, but both of them Lakeside High School graduates. Go Lions. Won a couple of state titles over the last couple of years over there in the 3A Metro Division.
You're not showing any favoritism, are you?
None whatsoever.
In case you didn't know, Andrew went to Lakeside as well.
Well, Ballard High School got the better of Lakeside this year, knocked them out in the state semifinals on penalties, I believe.
Also substituted for Ballard FC, leaving the pitch.
You know, one of those fun things to think about, Jim, is, you know, for years there, because of the USSDA, the high school soccer scene was kind of depleted, you might say, a little bit. But there is some good talent around those teams in every division.
No question about it.
Cultures United looking for a quick response. Over the head of Nunez. No, he got there. Suoza kept that ball in play. Swung far side. Back across the face of goal. De La Rosa lets it run. And that ball eventually reaches the touchline courtesy of De La Rosa.
again, Nunez showing how dangerous he is. That header was really, really well done and created an opportunity for his teammate. Unfortunately, he knocked it too far past, but.
And once again, just like that penalty back in the 16th after Ballard scored their third in the 13th, Cultures United knows how to not go away right after they concede one. And so often, if you can kind of get in the other team's face right after you give one up, you more often than not can get it back.
Well, and it's a psychological advantage. I mean, we talk about the 5-minute rule, and the 5-minute rule obviously is most goals are scored in the first and the last 5 minutes of each half and within 5 minutes of a goal. And often what happens is that the team that scores the goal lets their defense down just a little bit, and that creates an opportunity for the opposing side.
De La Rosa whistled for a foul there. Service had come from Rafi Otero. Catalan to Mavacere. Suazo, who had that last chance at the back post, gone through here for Rios. And just can't quite hold it in play. Clever run from the 10, but not enough in the end.
Well, and unfortunately, he wasn't quite expecting the pass to go that far, and you could tell he sort of tried to accelerate to make up for it, but he just couldn't keep control of the ball when he got there.
There was another change for Cultures United during that last stoppage after the goal. Quinton and Body now on the game. Space here for Joe Dale. Dale looking through here for Onodera. Onodera almost had it fall right back to him. Head in his hands.
That was a good run and a really good pass as well.
And looks like Junior Chimilio might have paid a price coming back to cover that ball. You know, one of those questions you always think about, especially in interdivisional play, Jim, is how deep is the gas tank? Sometimes different levels of the game require very different things, and we've seen a number of Cultures United players kind of struggling to keep pace with the demands of the match.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things you don't know. You don't know about their fitness levels and that kind of thing. But, you know, clearly when you're playing a team the caliber of Ballard, you're going to have to defend all, 80 yards by 120 yards, and that takes a toll.
Ballard taking advantage of the stoppage to get some hydration. Again, a nice day, not a particularly warm one. Kickoff temperature about 72 degrees. But even so, it's been an up and down contest, Jim. I think maybe in a way that, from the way the first 10 minutes of the match occurred, we didn't expect to manifest, but it's been great soccer.
It has indeed. And don't forget, this is an artificial surface, so maybe 72 degrees here, but it's at least 10 degrees hotter down on the pitch. Where if it were 90, then it's 100 down on the pitch. And I've played in situations like that where your feet blister because it's so darn hot. So obviously that's not the case this afternoon. A very comfortable temperature.
Chimilio able to come off under his own power. It looked as though Cultures United did make a sub during that stoppage. We haven't quite picked out who the new man on yet is. And Diego Rodas, the referee, I think doing, as a good referee should, counting the number of players, wondering why there are 11 players out here, and now waving on the substitute. Because again, when you're in the friendly, you don't have the fourth official to just go, yeah, no, it was him.
That's right.
Well, it looks to have been perhaps 2 changes. It looks to be Michael Aylman and Kevin Sampablo checked into the match now. Malhuin calls off his defenders there. Final 15 minutes. Out for Mayamba. Out of the way, De La Rosa. Onodera gone backwards. And Tetsane, I think at the stage of the match now where he feels contact, he's going to go down and let it be what it's going to be. Sampablo, the guilty party. Quick restart. Over the top for Holmes. Big touch to the inside. Holmes could be in here, and he puts it in. Moments after subbing on, Charlie Holmes bags a goal. It's 5-2.
And, you know, you really can't fault the goalkeeper. I mean, you're going to let a guy come in and shoot the ball from 7 yards out. That's tough. Obviously, Malhuin is frustrated, giving up 5, but well earned by Holmes. And a very nice service right off the free kick.
Clever restart to go quickly in sort of an unsettled situation. Saw it well, developed it well. 5-2.
Yeah, that's one of the things, you know, quick restarts can be really, really powerful. And it's a lot of defenders just assume that, you know, the referee's going to give you 10 yards and it's going to take a time, but they have no obligation to do that. And in fact, referees are instructed to not get in the way of a quick restart, leaving it up to the players to decide if they want the 10 yards or not.
Poked away. Mayamba clears it out. In fact, they've even altered the laws even further. It used to be that if a foul had been given for a cautionable offense, you couldn't allow the quick restart. You had to show the caution before play was restarted. And I have actually said if it's a yellow card and not a red, you can actually allow the quick restart and then come back and show it during the next stoppage, which I think is good for the game.
I agree.
I certainly think it's a way to try to cut down maybe on cynical play. If you have a supporting runner, you break free at midfield, get, you know, rugby tackled, as it were.
Well, and it's also a way of trying to countermand the tendency of teams that are leading to try to milk the clock. So if they want a quick restart, then they should be able to do it, not let the team ahead eat up another, 35, 40 seconds.
Tetsane putting his class on display. Still grinding here, 78 minutes in. Otero gets a foot in. Aylman trying the far side.
De La Rosa is doing a very nice job. He's the one that served that assist to Holmes. But he's doing a very nice job of serving in that attacking midfield role. But he, in that case, came back and did a very nice job of controlling the ball and giving his team the opportunity to reset.
Searching ball for Otero there. Falls to Galliano. Further for Dale. Dale, early cross, and it was a tap-in for Galliano. He couldn't quite get back on the end of it. Pardon me, it was De La Rosa. Heroic effort to lay out for it, but just couldn't get there.
It's one of those things where you make the run, you think, okay, I'll have time to adjust. Well, he didn't have time. That ball was really hit hard across the goal mouth. And you had to have, started your run and completed your run at a dead sprint to get to that ball.
80th minute now, and a match that about 15 minutes ago seemed very much in contention, now seems very much not. Not only are they back up by 3, but they're getting all the 50-50 balls, Jim.
Well, it's amazing what a goal or two will do to your motivation level.
Still 10 minutes in stoppage to go, but on the whole, you have to say this is exactly what you want out of a midseason friendly. Flag up for offside against De La Rosa. Came out here, got a good test in, got to see some minutes from some guys who maybe haven't had a chance to contribute the most that they have to offer so far this season, make a case for themselves. And of course now they go into a waiting game position for at least the next 24 hours anyway. Capital FC Atletico plays Ole Town FC tomorrow, and if Capital FC drops points against Ole Town, admittedly they are at home down in Salem, but if they drop points, then Ballard guaranteed first place in the Pacific Northwest Division, guaranteed the division title, and guaranteed a slot in the 2024 U.S. Open Cup. Tetsane searching ball in, too long for Galliano.
It was a great ball. It's just a shame. One of the other things you mentioned about all the benefits of this kind of a match is also to give some players an opportunity to learn how to play together, because they hadn't really had an opportunity. For example, McGlynn and also Eric Lagos. And both of those players clearly combined very well this afternoon. So I think that's a very good positive for Coach O'Neill and Ballard FC.
This is Charlie Holmes, the goal scorer from a moment ago. Takes the quick corner, finds Martin. Martin has space and time and tries the far post and just got too far underneath it.
That's really hard to do at the point of contact. You really you're thinking, okay. And he had it beautifully lined up. I mean, it was exactly where it needed to be. It just was 2 yards too tall.
Not too high, too hard.
Really?
Who gives a rip? It's gone. Wrong sport, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Just a bit outside.
What's funny is that reference is going to become less and less understandable to people who are watching this broadcast as time goes by. Onadera looking through. Holmes thought about the volley there for a second. And De La Rosa cleans out Mayamba. Nunez, another great little header. Nearly got it off to San Pablo.
And again, that's a skill of a target player that often doesn't get enough press, if you will. The ability to do a deflective head or a head-on or a flick-on header, those things are really, really important if you play that role.
When gets it away under duress. Mavasere. One back by Holmes. Galliano. Down line for Dale. Dale's cross coming in. Mavasere. Well, he knew that ball was going wide, but for a split second, I think some of his teammates had doubts.
Yeah, well, very nice hustle on Holmes' part to win that ball back. He ran all the way across the pitch to gain, and then a very nifty pass forward to set up that cross.
De La Rosa, another short corner. This time it's Leatherman. Leatherman left-footed effort, headed out for another. Rosa goes in this time. Leatherman, the flick on header. That one out for a goal kick. Martin, Onodera. Here's Otero. Early cross past De La Rosa. Tetsane has it. He's chopped down. And I think San Pablo just going to get a talking to here. Going to be told there's no need to make that challenge at this stage in the match with this kind of scoreline. And he'll draw the yellow card as well, which frankly is good refereeing, Jim.
Absolutely. I have to say that Diego Rojas has done a great job this afternoon at managing this match. He lets them play enough, but warns players when it's warranted, and that certainly was one of those places.
Dale down for Otero. Dale cutting inside. De La Rosa cleared away by Catalan. Out as far as San Pablo, but Hennis first to it. Tetsane. Galliano. Slips it through for Tetsane. Tetsane is offside. Well, the captain has been active, to say the least, today, and thought maybe he was going to get his own goal to round things out here.
Well, when you're playing center back to get an offside call, that's quite impressive when you think about it. You know, like, that means you're way up the pitch, and you guys are dominating.
Well, Juan Nunez, who scored maybe the best goal of the day. Well, if not for McGlynn's second one, but a spectacular solo effort, will trot off here. Strong showing from him over the span of 87 minutes. Malwen. Scuff ball from the keeper. Otero floating ball here. And good keeping.
That was number 9, Juan Nunez. Entry number 8, Alvaro Castañeda.
Alvaro Castaneda checking in for Nunez there. Well, as it stands, Ballard putting themselves in a very good position for this final 2 matches of the regular season. They'll be at Capital FC Atletico on Wednesday at 7, then they'll be back here against United PDX for a 2 p.m. kickoff next Sunday. Playoffs will occur the following week. More about scheduling for that to come. And Ballard, again, just needs one more point, actually, in order to clinch things up if Capital FC does defeat Ole Town tomorrow. Technically speaking, they're at Capital's magic number right now, and Capital FC would need to make up, I think, 23 goals in goal differential to overtake Ballard at the moment.
That's not going to happen.
You never know. Weird things happen in the game of soccer sometimes, Jim. So I know Ethan O'Neill and Ballard FC will be looking to clinch things outright if Ole Town doesn't get the job done for them tomorrow. Like we said, 5 straight sellouts as far as regular season matches. Long ball here for Galliano. Mayamba stride for stride with the big man. Otero pulls it back to his left. Pokes it through. Galliano. Low driven ball, and Galliano offside. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet for next Sunday's contest, the home season finale, don't wait. There probably won't be many left by the time we get to Monday or Tuesday this week if we're not sold out already. Another free kick given just past midfield.
Well, you can tell both teams are pretty much wiped out at this point. They're very tired, having run very hard in a friendly and yet very entertaining match on both sides parts.
Ailman booked for that challenge as we hit the 90th minute. And doesn't look like we'll see any added time here. Well, Ballard FC came out and did what they needed to in the second half. Scored 2 more goals in convincing fashion. Declan McGlynn with an absolute beauty of a chip in the 67th. And Charlie Holmes bagging an insurance goal and make it 5-2 in the 76th. Jim, really entertaining match.
It was really fun, a beautiful day. I mean, this is what, Ballard FC is all about. A very nice home crowd, bring the family out. And this has just been a great match. And, who knows? I mean, there are a lot of very gifted players on Cultures FC, and you never know that one of them may end up suiting up for Ballard in a year or two. So.
Cultures United FC, really good showing. Could have faded away early in this contest, didn't. Made a great match of it. Great celebration of inclusivity and soccer and the fact that the game belongs to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for our Pride Night broadcast. Again, Ballard FC on the road on Wednesday against Capital FC Atletico. If Capital FC doesn't drop points against Early Town tomorrow, that match will pretty much decide the division if Ballard winds up taking the point from it. And then they're back here at home to round things out against United PDX at 2 p.m. We'll have that match for you. That's going to do it for us here from Go Ballard FC TV. For all of us, including Jim Harvey and our producer-director Adam Race, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
Yeah.